Okay, here we are sliding in from the side, and today it's my 58-year birthday, and I just want to make a kind of a birthday progress video. It seems to me like I just made a 57-year-old video, and I looked back on YouTube now and I think, wow, that is not long ago. And so I didn't actually post that many videos last year, so I will do better from now on. And if you like to see more of my painting videos and talks and stuff, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and if you can share with your friends or whatever, I will do my best to make better content for you. But for the algorithm, please give it a thumbs up, and as a birthday gift, you can actually give it a huge thumbs up. Maybe leave a comment, say happy birthday, tell me where you're from or why you like to watch my videos. It would really warm my heart, to use a cliche. Anyway, how has my 57th year gone? Well, I think it's getting better. I want to call this video Becoming 58 and Living with ADHD. I also want to talk a little bit about shadow work, which is extremely important, you know, Jung and the shadow. But first I want to address what I'm doing this year. Basically been multitasking and trying to battle my ADHD and my hypomania, to focus myself, and I'm still struggling with that. It's now 2.5 years since it's 2.5 years since I came out of prison, or my meditation resort, and I still aren't able to focus my time the same way as I did in there. It is because as an artist, many people have this as artists, they have the hyperactivity and the mania and stuff like that, and when you don't have rules, you don't have to basically force yourself to get up in the morning. It's really hard to focus it, and it's been like this for years. Since I stopped being a welder, I think, I stopped going to school in 1992, it's been like this. And I've gone through so many stages. I almost become an alcoholic. I battled that. I didn't drink in the morning and stuff, but it was up to 2 or 3 times a week, and it was devastating for my psyche and my progress and everything. I think I spent like 10 years just feeding a gallery with small paintings to feed my bad habits, and I managed to battle that. And what I also do with the ADHD and the hypomania is that I just tend to move from one addiction to another addiction, and I basically stopped drinking. I didn't stop, you know, I can take a glass of wine. I'm drinking wine today. Cheers, by the way. Happy birthday to me. And later my girlfriend is coming here, and we're gonna have a very nice evening with some cake and maybe a pizza and some Molly to flow through the night and just enjoy each other and life. So that's gonna be great. Now, I tend to obsess, and that's the hypomania. So when I stop doing this, I'm starting with doing something else. Like I started with my gun mania, and it led me to 1 year in prison because I broke the gun laws of Norway, and but it was very helpful and one of the best times of my life, actually, because I finally had some peace of mind, and 365 days was basically perfect to reset. But then I came out, and it just kind of went back to the same struggles again. But what I do feel now, in the year that went, that I'm starting to land I'm starting to chip off. I'm starting to focus better and better. And instead of trying to wake up the 1st of January and want to change everything, you should just change it slowly. It's the same thing with my shadow. My shadow is the one who is needy and need instant gratification. I need to work with that too, but I can't just change. I need to change slowly over time. And if I've been doing a lot of thinking and writing and stuff about this for the last year, and what I realized, instead of trying to do everything at once, just try to do it slowly. Because if you do things slowly, you're going to gradually change your mind or your brain physically, and the shadow, the impact of the shadow will become less and less and less, and then you become more and more the conscious being, the introspection being, the being that I want to be. Because I'm actually not my shadow. I am the conscious person. That is who is actually me. So I'm trying to move from that needy ape to more me. And it's maybe a little bit more boring, but it's not, being focused is not really boring when you start becoming focused. And last year I said I'm going to use the year to finish all my unfinished project. I didn't manage to do that, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to just keep on doing it. Instead of putting in a time or a schedule, I'm just going to start in one end and chew myself through it as I was a rat trying to go through a brick wall to get to this, the cheese behind the wall that smells so good, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do exactly the same as before, just trying to shift my focus slowly. And what I will work with is my schedule. Get up in the morning, go right to the painting, do exercise and other things after you have worked. That way I drag with me that great feeling of achievement into my social life, to my girlfriend, to my exercise and life in general. And you are freeing up time, because living with ADHD, like many people do, which are artists, is really hell if you can't focus it. And when I procrastinate so much time and I just lose focus, I can feel it physically. It just tears me down. It is aging me fast, and I don't want to age in a bad way. So age in a good way, I need to balance my diet and have a diet that doesn't fluctuate my blood sugar and my dopamine too much. I have to avoid the things that kind of goes against my morals and my ethics. I have to, that can be like watching porn, which is just crazy because I hate it. You know, I know it's just filth and it tears me down. And there's other things too that just tears me down. And try to focus more and more on the good things. So that is what every year is the same thing. Hopefully next year when I make the 59 video, I have moved a little bit more to that side. And you also have to take into account the fact that, and I didn't do that when I was younger because I always had so much energy, so much to tap into, that I could do all the mistakes and get something done anyway. But at the age of 58, you do not have automatically the same energy. So your diet has to be just pristine. I did something, I have gone into what's called a more carnivore diet based on meat, fish, eggs and greens. I try to avoid carbs as much as I can. As I say, I'm not a fanatic. I can take a piece of bread in a cafe or something like that and sometimes indulge. But usually I'm in a carnivore or in ketosis, and it has totally cleared up my eyes. I don't need glasses anymore when I paint. Usually, if I have slept good and I have eaten a carnivore diet and are in ketosis, my eyes are just crystal clear. So I went from using glasses that was +1 or +1.5 to not using glasses at all. And that is amazing, because it means when I shifted my diet, my eyesight got better, which means, again, I got younger. And I will continue to do that and experiment with different things to see how it kind of turns out, and how it affects my painting. So I'm trying to tweak everything so I can get the most out of the time I have left in existence. And hopefully that will be another 42 years. I should be able to become 100. If I should get pancreatic cancer or something and be dead in like 5 years, that is too bad, but shit happens and we don't know. That is why memento mori, you have to remember you're going to die, and just seize the day, because you don't know if you have the day after and day after, so don't take your time for granted. Now, I feel happy. I have a lovely girlfriend, she's just so nice. We've been together now I've known her for 2.5 years, and we haven't had a single argument, because there's nothing to argue about. We just talk, and she's not the kind of person who makes any drama, and she's also the kind of person that pulls out the best in me, because I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be any drama. I don't want to be in a constant fluctuation between basically sex and argument. It's not where I want to be. It may be a little bit more boring, but it's so much better for you as a whole person. So when you find a girl that actually gives that good feeling, hold on to it, because it's so rare. So yeah, do that. Anyway, or also I have been promiscuous all my life, and that is one of the things I have to work with when it comes to the shadow. That is why you don't want to let the shadow destroy something beautiful. So, but you also shouldn't be too harsh towards yourself, and you should acknowledge your dark sides and your needy sides, and maybe even covert narcissistic sides. And you just have to get to know yourself to become the best version of yourself. And what I see, the more conscious I become, the more it kind of, I can see that my brushwork is getting better as I'm becoming a better person. Because it's not driven by hubris, it's not driven by neurosis, it's not driven by all the junk energy. It's driven by a single goal, and that is just creating and finding peace of mind. So what I would do if I were an artist is to start exercising, try to get a schedule, do not drink too much, and do not waste money, because if you can save money, you have a lot of freedom, because you have to deal with gallerists, you have to deal with customers, you have to deal with everything. And yeah, so that is my advice. And for the next year, the only thing I will do is try to become better. Simply become better. And so I can start feeling that life actually matters, because I can't use entertainment anymore to deflect myself from life or existence. When I was younger, I could use movies, and I didn't have that bad feeling after watching some bullshit. I just went to bed and didn't think more about it. But now, if I see a bad movie, it creates dissonance, and I get annoyed, and I feel I wasted my time, and I just feel drained. So if you're gonna watch a movie, watch something good. If you're gonna, yeah. So I know this is always all over the place. Just try to focus on what matters, and if you are lucky enough to find love, stick with it. If not, learn to love yourself, because that's the most important thing. If my girlfriend died or something, or even my daughter and my parents and everybody died, I should be able to keep living and loving existence anyway. Because as they say, if you live long enough, you're gonna lose everything. And the last thing you lose is yourself. So if you can learn to love yourself, which I feel like I'm finally in the process of doing, and that is accepting my dark side, accepting my good sides, and seeing myself more and more objectively, almost like I'm sitting beside myself, looking at me and judging myself from the inside. So do acceptance, judgment, and positive things, and I will become 59 in a good way. So let this be my 58-year birthday video. This was actually very good wine. It was a Rioja Bordon. Rioja. It was really nice. It's kind of round and fruity and thick. I like the wine to be thick, so we can't really... When I go to a cafe, I usually say, hey, could I have a red wine? So I couldn't see a goldfish swimming in it, if it was a goldfish in it. And they're looking at me with this, what did he say? But that's the kind of wine I like. A dark wine that you can't see through. And it's just, and it has to be like 14% or up, because that is usually when you have these thiamine or whatever you call it. Anyway, I love wine, and I drink wine maybe once a month now, usually with my girlfriend or a friend or something, and I usually consume a bottle, so to get that high. But as I said in the beginning, today we're all going to be joined by Molly, so we're going to enhance the night and feeling. So I hope you can leave a thumbs up, a comment, and watch my videos, put on some videos, because I really need more traction. And if you like to have me as your painting coach, you can go to my YouTube, and there you find a link to PATRON, or you can buy me a coffee, or whatever, super chat when I do live painting. Yeah, I think this was it. On PATRON, I will, depending what kind of tier you go for, I will also do cam sessions and stuff like that. Talk to you personally. So with this, happy 58 to me. Yay! So that was my front page photo. So yeah, maybe I should also drink, since I said cheers. Cheers for my birthday. Cheers for surviving another year in existence. Now the picture I have in the background, another thing, is from I was 32, so I'm going to use that as a front thumbnail photo. It was actually taken a day I was really hungover, but I was young and you couldn't even see it. Yay!